Chapter 3, Culture Quizlets. Culture. The entire way of life of a group of people, including both material and symbolic elements, that acts as a lens through which one views the world and that is passed from one generation to the next. Ethnocentrism. The principle of using one's own culture as a means or standard by which to evaluate another group or individual, leading to the view that cultures other than one's own are abnormal or inferior. Cultural relativism. The principle of understanding other cultures on their own terms, rather than judging or evaluating according to one's own culture. Material culture. The objects associated with a cultural group, such as tools, machines, utensils, buildings, and artwork, any physical object to which we give social meaning. Symbolic culture. The ideas associated with the cultural group, including ways of thinking, beliefs, values, and assumptions, and ways of behaving, norms, interactions, and communication. Signs. Symbols that stand for or convey an idea. Gestures. The ways in which people use their bodies to communicate without words, actions that have symbolic meaning. Language. A system of communication using vocal sounds, gestures, or written symbols, the basis of symbolic culture and the primary means through which we communicate with one another and perpetuate our culture. Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. The idea that language structures thought and that ways of looking at the world are embedded in language. Belief. Are ideas about the nature of reality. Values. Ideas about what is right or wrong, good or bad, desirable or worthy in a particular group. They express what the group cherishes and honors. Norms. Rules or guidelines regarding what kinds of behavior are acceptable and appropriate within a particular culture. These typically emanate from the group's values. Laws. Types of norms that are formally codified to provide an explicit statement about what is permissible or forbidden, legal or illegal in a given society. Folkways. A loosely enforced norm involving common customs, practices, or procedures that ensure smooth social interaction and acceptance. Example, washing hands after using restroom. Folk culture. Style and kind of living based on personal traditions passed down over time. Mores. Norms that carry great moral significance, are closely related to the core values of a cultural group, and often involve severe repercussions, punishment, for violators. No shooting in public. Taboo. A norm ingrained so deeply that even thinking about violating it evokes strong feelings of disgust, horror, or revulsion. No smoking marijuana. Moral holiday. A specified time period during which some norm violations are allowed. Sanctions. Positive or negative reactions to the ways that people follow or disobey norms, including rewards for conformity and punishments for violations. Social control. The formal and informal mechanisms used to elicit conformity to values and norms and thus promote social cohesion. Multiculturalism. A policy that values diverse racial, ethnic, national, and linguistic backgrounds and so encourages the retention of cultural differences within society rather than assimilation. Dominant culture. The values, norms, and practices of the group within society that is most powerful, in terms of wealth, prestige, status, influence, etc. Hegemony. Term developed by Antonio Gramsci to describe the cultural aspects of social control, whereby the ideas of the dominant group are accepted by all. Subculture. A group within society that is differentiated by its distinctive values, norms, and lifestyle. Counterculture. A group within society that openly rejects and/or actively opposes society's values and norms. Culture wars. Clashes within mainstream society over the values and norms that should be upheld. Ideal culture. The norms, values, and patterns of behavior that members of a society believe should be observed in principle. Real culture. The norms, values, and patterns of behavior that actually exist within a society, which may or may not correspond to the society's ideals. Popular culture, pop. Style and kind of living th. Popular culture, pop. Style and kind of living that is relatively modern, well known, generally accepted. Changes constantly. Elite culture. Style and kind of living of the modern wealthy. Associated with best life can offer. Formerly known as high culture. Technology. Material artifacts and the knowledge and techniques required to use them. Cultural diffusion. The dissemination of material and symbolic culture, tools and technology, beliefs and behavior, from one group to another. Cultural leveling. The process by which cultures that were once unique and distinct become increasingly similar. Cultural imperialism. The imposition of one culture's beliefs and practices on another culture through mass media and consumer products rather than by military force. How has the American culture changed after September 11th? Have increased government efforts to address terrorism and a more aggressive American foreign policy.
Thanks for watching.